Hi, it's Kylie Coo. Welcome to my Halloween studio. So I did these little drawings of what I'm calling ghostlings, and after I drew them I thought, I might want to use these more than once, so I photocopied them and I was really pleased with the way that they came out. So I've made 8 cards because there are kind of 8 main drawings on my sheet. And these are artist trading card size, which is 3.5 inches by 2.5 inches. Now, I've already taken a sheet where I've cut the little pieces out, and I have some printed backgrounds that I had actually printed a while ago for a different project, and I thought these would be perfect for this. So I had made these little drawings of a size that would be suitable for ATCs. And they're what I'm calling ghostlings, little ghosts, because I'm imagining that these are little folk dressed up to go out trick-or-treating, and it's going back to those kind of simpler days of just a kind of white sheet to act as a ghost. So each little drawing is a character in their own right, and I kind of have a little story behind each of them. So what I'm going to do now is to take these background papers and just cut them to 3.5 and 2.5, and then stick them one onto each of the cards. So some cards will have a similar background and others will be a little bit different. And all I'm going to do is to glue them down with with a glue stick. So these backgrounds I just took off a royalty-free site where you can get free downloads. So just simply using the glue stick to put these in place. So when I did these little drawings, I had in mind that I wanted something that, would be suitable for kids. There's an awful lot of scary stuff out there. I mean, a lot of it's good, some nice kind of gothic things, but a lot of stuff that I think isn't totally appropriate for kids. That's just my view. Others will, of course, think differently. But I wanted something that I could share with younger people if I was going to send these cards out. So I'm just making sure that my backgrounds are stuck well in place, and I'll do that with each of my 8 cards. So I've got my 8 cards done, and now all I'm going to do is to start to start arranging my little pieces onto the cards. And usually I'll do this, I'll play about with them until I'm happy with the kind of design that I've got on each card before I then actually stick them down. And when I'm making multiple cards like this, I like to work on them all at once, because sometimes I might think, oh, I want to move that piece somewhere else. And in this case, because I had different coloured backgrounds, I'm trying to think which piece goes with which background. But actually I end up doing this pretty quickly, and I was quite pleased with the way that these turned out. But I'll just let you see my process here as to what I put where. So yes, 8 main little characters, and then I've got a number of pumpkins, and I did some words just like trick or treat, spooky, happy Halloween. And you'll see later that I've actually gone on to make a second set of cards as well, and I'll do a flip through of all the cards at the end of this. The other thing I did was a spider's web and a couple of spiders. Now, some of these were a little bit tricky to cut round, to do that kind of detailed cutting. And some pieces I just left with some of the white background around it. For me, that didn't matter too much. So just looking there at where the pumpkins might fit, which one goes with which character. And as I say, just trying to arrange these into place to get the kind of final design that I'm happy with. And of course, because I had printed off a couple of sheets, well, not only did that allow me to make another set of cards, but you know, I could, if I wanted to, have a couple of characters on one ATC, for example. I wasn't limited, whereas if I'd cut out my original drawings, I would have been. And I did like the original drawings, so I wanted to keep them just in case I decide to do some more cards after this. I was actually thinking too, these would fit onto the kind of artist trading coins as well. They're of that kind of scale, and they would be useful for card making. So lots of different uses that I might get out of these. And just little kind of button type things there with 31 and 31st October, and I did a couple of kind of border edges, one just looking like a kind of spider's web. Now what I could have done with the spiders is just to cut around the main body and draw the legs on separately, but I quite liked the white. I thought it made it stand out. And just getting my final little pieces there. I think I use every piece other than the word spider and the word web. I think I didn't use on these ones, but I think I do go on to use them on my second set of cards. So as you'll see, each character slightly different. And of course, this is the kind of thing that I could have added to just with a pen, writing words on, or I could type some words up and add them if needs be. But, you know, in terms of what was there, the cards were pretty full. So, I've now got them all in place. I might do a little bit more cutting round some of the pieces just to get them to fit. So, for example, that Happy Halloween, I'll just cut in half. And I'll put that on as two separate words. Okay, so it's now time to start sticking them down, and all I'll do is just to use a simple glue stick to put them in place. And here's the finished set of cards. Now I do go on to do a little bit more work on them, and in just a moment I'll show you this set and another set, but I do more of a kind of live commentary on those. Okay, so we're a few days further on now, but I've got my cards finished, and indeed I've made a second set of cards, and I thought I'd just do a very quick flip through of them. Now my idea to photocopy this and cut out this has actually worked out well, you know, because that's allowed me to make a couple of sets, and I'll be saying a little bit more about that in just a moment. So let me quickly run through these cards in no particular order. So all I've done here and there is to add a little bit of colour with colour pencil, and in a couple of instances just to use some jelly pens just to add a bit of added effect. So I see all of these as having a different character. You know, this one's maybe running from something or shouting boo or whatever. This one you can see I just put the little, kind of hard to see here, but used a jelly pen just to give the idea that the eyes were glowing. And with the little ghostlings, I've just added little whites to show their eyes. Now some of the things are quite detailed to cut round, but you know, I wasn't too concerned about that. The spiders, what I would have done if I didn't want the white is just to cut out the main body and then just draw on the legs. This little one has their cat with them, and their cat wanted them to be a witch. So, you know, I've got a little story behind each one. I could have cut these words out individually, but I just left it like this. This one is bouncing in the air, thinking they can fly. And I think the backing that I used has worked quite well for these cards. So yeah, this set was very much based on making something for Halloween that's suitable for kids. There's so many scary things out there. Don't get me wrong, I kind of like the gothic type feel of things that you get at Halloween, but there's a lot that I've seen anyway that just isn't for kids, whereas I thought these were something that would be quite suitable, you know, and it could go onto cards. So here's the second set that I made. Now, I actually took this and printed it off in just black and white. So, you know, most of it is black and white anyway, other than the kind of pumpkins and little bits here and there. But I thought I'm just going to print the whole thing in black and white and just in draft quality to see how it printed. And I was really quite pleased with the way it turned out. It gives it a slightly different effect when it's printed that way, but I put it onto black cardstock, and you know, even just in black and white it's quite effective. But what I decided to do here and there was to again just add in little bits of colour, and in some instances I've just taken a white pencil round just to give a kind of glow energy type effect around the little ghostlings. I particularly like this guy, you know, in my mind this is the ghostling who's getting to kind of teenage age and wants to be a little bit more kind of, I'm scary. And again, just little bits of colour just to bring it up. And I could add so much more to these. I particularly like this one. And again, just going around with a little bit of colour around the words. One more behind it. There we go. So with each copy of these, there are 8 ghostlings. So, you know, I've kind of done one ghostling per page, or per card I should say, and then added in my pumpkins and the other little bits and pieces. So with 2 prints of this, I've managed to get 2 sets of 8 ATCs, artist trading cards. Now, after I'd copied this, I thought, perhaps this is something that other people might like to use for Halloween, especially since it is, for me anyway, I think it's more orientated to younger people. So I decided, since I was thinking of opening an Etsy shop anyway, because people have been asking me if I sell my journals, I thought, well, maybe this is something I could sell as a digital download. So I've set up an Etsy shop, and I will insert an image of the shop here. And this is now available as a digital download in my Etsy shop. Now, I've tried to keep it at a low price. 1, because it's the first ever item that I'm selling via Etsy. 2, you know, I'm new to this, and you know, so I've made it as best I can, but I'm recognising that I'm still in the learning process. So, and 3, I think things should be as accessible as possible to everybody. So I'm trying to make things that are affordable. So, you know, if you'd like to support me by buying this through my Etsy store, then, you know, I would just appreciate that so much. And I'll leave the link in the description box below that will take you direct to my Etsy shop. So it's the only thing there just now, but very much hoping to get some more things in very soon. And in fact, as soon as I get this video edited and uploaded, then I'll be working on some other things. So I hope you like these little ATCs that I've made and the little drawings that I've done. And, you know, if you do want to purchase it, great. If not, no problem. I just hope you've enjoyed the video anyway. So I hope when Halloween comes around for you that whether you celebrate it or not, it can be a bit of fun. And, you know, my little characters are trying to take us back to a time when Halloween was maybe that little bit simpler for kids, you know, a white sheet. They dressed up in a white sheet as a ghost, and as I'm calling them, ghostlings, because they're not really ghosts and they're little folks. So, yeah. So, thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.